Do you ever feel like you're falling behind in a race that never actually ends? You open your phone and see a friend's new promotion, or you walk past a neighbor's house and see their perfect life, and suddenly your own world feels small and empty. The bitter truth is that comparison is a thief that steals the joy right out of your hands. We spend so much of our precious time watching the progress of others that we forget we are on a completely different path. We are so busy looking over the fence to see how green the grass is in someone else's yard that we let our own grass turn brown and die. In a sun-drenched valley where the soil was rich and the water was clear, lived a young woman named Jiya. She owned a small patch of land right next to her neighbor Ananya. Both women had been given the exact same types of seeds to plant at the start of the season. Jiya was a hardworking person, but she had a habit that made her heart heavy every single day. Every morning, she would walk to the edge of her garden and stare at Ananya's plants. If Ananya's flowers seemed an inch taller, Jiya would feel a sting of sadness. If Ananya's leaves looked a deeper shade of green, Jiya would lose her appetite and feel like a failure. This habit of comparison became a dangerous trap. Jiya was so focused on Ananya's garden that she began to resent her own work. When she looked at her own small sprouts, she saw only weakness and slowness. She stopped watering her garden with love and instead started digging up the soil to see why her seeds weren't growing as fast as the others. Because she was always watching her neighbor, she missed the signs of pests on her own leaves. Her garden began to wither, not because the soil was bad, but because the gardener's mind was somewhere else. The psychological weight of this envy made Jiya feel exhausted, as if she were carrying a heavy stone on her back while trying to run. One evening, a wise man named Vedant passed through the valley. He saw Jiya sitting by her dying garden, looking with bitter eyes at the lush flowers next door. Vedant did not offer her a new tool or a better fertilizer. Instead, he gave her a specific and strange task. He told her to go to Ananya's garden every morning for the next 3 days and water her neighbor's plants with care. During these 3 days, Jiya was strictly forbidden from looking at or touching her own garden. She had to ignore her own plants completely while she helped her neighbor's plants grow. Jiya was confused and even a little angry, but she respected the wise man and did as she was told. On the first day, she felt a deep pain in her chest as she poured water on Ananya's beautiful lilies. But by the third day, something shifted inside her. As she cared for someone else's success, she stopped feeling like it was a threat to her own. She began to see that Ananya's flowers were just living things, and they had their own struggles with the heat and the wind. Vedant returned and spoke to her in a voice as calm as a mountain breeze. He told her that a flower does not think of competing with the flower next to it. It simply blooms. He explained that in nature, there is no leaderboard. The oak tree does not feel like a failure because it is not a rose, and the river does not try to be the ocean before its time. Jiya had a sudden moment of clarity. She realized that by obsessing over Ananya, she had been neglecting the only garden she actually had the power to grow. In our modern world of 2026, we are living in a giant valley of constant comparison. Every time we check our social media, we are looking into the gardens of thousands of strangers. We see their highlight reels and their perfect moments, and we feel that our own lives are lacking. But we must remember that social media is a competition of masks. People show only the bloom. They never show the dirt or the struggle. This constant comparison creates a mental clutter that stops us from finding our own rhythm. To heal your heart and find your focus, try a digital detox. For the next 48 hours, stay away from the apps that make you feel like you are not enough. Put down the phone and look at the real seeds in your own life. Focus on your own health, your own small skills, and your own peace of mind. When you stop looking over the fence, you finally find the energy to water your own soil. Success is not about being faster or better than someone else. It is about being better than you were yesterday. Your journey is unique, and your timing is perfect just as it is. Do not let the beauty of another person's life make you forget the magic of your own. Bloom at your own pace, for the sun shines on every flower equally when they finally open their petals. Focus on your own soil, and your life will become a garden that others love to visit.